Hi, good evening. As a continuation of our class in the morning session, today now we are going to discuss some notes related to linear transformation. The first note is if T is a linear transformation from V into W, then T of 0 equal to 0. Okay, this is one of the result but we are using for proving whether T is a linear transformation or not. That is T of 0 equal to 0. Okay. Now, for proving this, we have what we have T of 0, you can write as T of 0 plus 0. Okay, given that T is a linear transformation, therefore you can write like this T of 0 plus T of 0. Now, T of 0 is in W and W is a vector space, therefore minus T of 0 also exists. Therefore, T of 0 minus T of 0 you can write like this. Okay, and addition is associated, therefore you can write like this implies, but minus T of 0 is the inverse of T of 0, therefore this becomes 0. This implies 0 equal to T of 0, that's we get T of 0 equal to 0. Now moving to another result, the another result is this one. If T is a linear transformation from V into W, then T O C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus etc. plus Cn alpha n is equal to C1 T alpha 1 plus C2 T alpha 2 plus C3 T alpha 3 plus etc. plus Cn T alpha n as a generalization. Okay. So for proving this, I am proving only two case of two, and you can generalize this one. Okay. So we have what we have T is a linear transformation. Therefore, T of C alpha plus beta equal to, you can write like this. Okay. So what is T of C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2? You can take this as beta. Okay. So using this result, this is T of C alpha 1 plus T C of alpha 2. Now you can take this as here, take here beta is equal to 0. Using this result, we can write like this. Okay, because this is plus 0 and that is T of 0 equal to 0. Okay, so we get this one. Now what is T of C alpha or C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus, same as in the previous case, you can mark this as some beta. Okay, so T as T is linear, this you can write as C of T alpha 1 plus T of this one beta. Okay, now apply result here. C of here this is C alpha and you can take this as some beta. Okay, so C2 T alpha 2 plus T of beta, and what is beta? C3 T alpha 3, and this is C3 T alpha 3. Proceeding like this, we get C of T of C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus etc. plus Cn alpha n is equal to this one. We are using this result in our proof of one theorem. Now we are moving to prove one theorem, and this is very important theorem. Now what is the statement of the theorem? Let V be a finite dimensional vector space over the field F. Clear? The given condition is V is a finite dimensional vector space over F. And let alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n be an ordered basis for V. Okay, clear? Now let W be a vector space over the same field F, and let beta 1, beta 2, etc. beta n be any vector in W. Note that any vectors in W, but alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha in a ordered basis. Okay. Then the theorem says that there is precisely one linear transformation T from V into W such that T alpha j is equal to beta j, j varies from 1 to etc. n. So what we have to prove? The given conditions are alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n is an ordered basis for V, beta 1, beta 2, etc. beta n be any vectors in W. Then there is exactly one linear transformation T from V into W which satisfies this condition. Okay, so we have to prove there exists a linear transformation satisfying this condition. Also, we have to prove there exists exactly one linear transformation. Okay, So what is our given condition? So what do you mean by linear transform? We have to define a map T from V to W and find T alpha for every alpha belongs to V. Okay. So let alpha belongs to V. But given that alpha 1, alpha 2, etc., alpha n is an ordered basis for V. Okay. Therefore, alpha you can write as a linear combination of these alpha i's. Okay. So alpha you can write as x1 alpha 1 plus x2 alpha 2 plus etc. plus xn alpha. For some x1, x2, etc. xn belongs to F. Now you are considering an element. You have here xi's. Okay. We used these xi's for getting alpha. Okay. Alpha equal to this one. Okay. So you choose this xi's and choose our bi's. Now x1 beta 1 plus x2 beta 2 plus etc. plus xn beta n. Beta i's belongs to W, xi's are in F, W is a vector space. Therefore, clearly these elements are, this linear combination also belongs to W. Okay, clear? Beta 1, beta 2, etc. belongs to W. W is a vector space. Okay. So, now I am defining a map T from V to W as T alpha equal to, we have this one T. Okay. For this, I am defining map like this x1 beta 1 plus x2 beta 2 plus etc. plus xn beta n. Clearly, this belongs to W. Therefore, T is a map from V to W. And now we have to check whether this is a well-defined map. For each alpha, as alpha equal to x1 alpha 1 plus etc. plus xn alpha n, and we know that alpha is our ordered basis. Therefore, representation of alpha is unique. That means if you can write alpha like this, then each xi, x1, x2, etc., xn in a unique way. Okay. So, for each alpha, you will get clearly one element in W. Okay. That is why the map is a well-defined map. Well-defined means for each alpha, there must exist a unique element beta in W. Okay. So now what is alpha j? Alpha j you can write as 0 alpha 1 plus 0 alpha 2 etc. 0 alpha j minus 1 into 1 alpha j plus, again all the coefficients are 0. Okay. Therefore, by our definition, here T alpha is defined like this. Okay. For T alpha 1, you can write this as beta. Okay. This is not, we have to verify whether T is linear. First, we are defining the map T. If alpha is equal to x1 alpha 1 plus etc. plus xn alpha n, then T alpha equal to x1 beta 1 plus x2 beta 2 etc. plus xn beta. So T alpha j is same as replacing alpha is by beta. Okay. And which is equal to 1 beta j, and that's equal to beta j. Thus, we get, if we define T alpha like this, then T alpha j equal to beta j. Okay, now we are going to prove this T. If you define T like this, then this T is a linear map. Okay, so you take two elements, alpha comma beta belongs to V. Then as alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. ordered basis, you can write like this, and beta you can write like this. T alpha is this one, T beta is this one. Okay, clear? Now, but C alpha plus beta, you write, just add this C alpha. C alpha means Cx1 alpha 1 plus Cx2 alpha 2 plus etc. plus Cxn alpha. Okay, plus beta means this one. And you collect the coefficient of alpha 1, coefficient of alpha 2, etc. coefficient of alpha n. Now, T of this means you replace this alpha i's by beta i's. Okay. Now collecting the terms containing beta i's as C common, you can take out the, now sorry, collecting the terms containing x i's. Now collecting the terms containing y i's. This implies we get C T alpha plus T beta. This implies T is a linear transformation. Now we have to prove this T is unique. Suppose U is any other linear transformation from V to V satisfying this condition, and to prove T is unique we have to prove U equal to T. Okay, so for proving U equal to T, what we have to prove? We have to prove U alpha equal to T alpha for every alpha belongs to V. Now for any vector alpha, you can write alpha equal to this one. Okay, therefore U alpha this one. But U is a linear transformation which satisfies this condition. Okay, therefore you can write like this, and this is equal to x1 beta 1 plus x2 beta 2 plus etc plus xn beta n, and which is same as T alpha. Therefore U alpha equal to T alpha for every alpha belongs to V. This implies U equal to T. Therefore T is unique. Therefore, there exists a unique linear transformation from V to W which satisfies the condition T alpha j equal to beta j. Clear? Here you must note alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n must be ordered basis. Betas are any vectors in W. Then theorem says that there exists a unique linear transformation T from V to W which satisfies this condition. For this, actually what we have, what is our linear transformation? T is a map from V to W defined by if alpha is equal to x1 alpha 1 plus etc xn alpha n, then T alpha equal to x1 beta 1 plus x2 beta 2 plus etc plus xn beta n. Okay, clear? If we define like this, then T is a well-defined map, also T is a linear transformation, also T is unique. Okay, now using the same theorem we are proving one example. Check whether whether there exists a linear transformation from R2 to R2 such that T alpha 1 is equal to this one, T alpha 2 is equal to this one. Okay, we have to check whether there exists a linear transformation. If it exists, find the linear transformation. For this, what we have to prove? If alpha 1 and alpha 2 are ordered basis, if we prove ordered basis, then clearly there exists a linear transformation from T from R2 to R2 satisfying this condition. So first we have to prove this alpha 1 and alpha 2 are linearly independent. For this, you take C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 equal to 0 implies C1 into this equal to 0, and C1 plus 2C2 3C2 equal to 0, 2C1 plus 4C2 equal to 0. If we multiply this one with 2, we get 2C1 plus 6C2 equal to 0. And subtracting this equation from this equation, we get 2C2 equal to 0 implies C2 equal to 0. Okay, if you substitute C2 equal to 0 here, then we get C1 equal to 0. The C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 equal to 0 implies C1 equal to 0 and C2 equal to 0. Therefore, alpha 1 and alpha 2 are linearly independent. Now, any linearly independent set form a part of a basis for R2. Therefore, alpha 1 and alpha 2 form a part of the basis for R2. But what about the dimension of R2? It is 2. Okay, here number of elements is 2. Therefore, this is a basis for R2. Therefore, using the theorem, there exists a unique linear transformation from T from R2 to R3 which is satisfied T alpha 1 is equal to this one and T alpha 2 equal to this one. Now, one more question is there. We have to find the linear transformation. That is, if you take any x1, x2 belongs to R2, what is T of x1, x2? Now, if you take any x1, x2 belongs to R2, then x1, x2 you can write like this, where E1 is equal to 1, 0, E2 is equal to 0, 1, or the usual basis, standard basis, okay? Therefore, ST is a linear map. You can write T x1, x2 as x1, T10 and x2, T01. So, if you find the value of T10 and T01, then clearly we get Tx1. Okay. So, for this, first we find what is 1, 0. Alpha 1, alpha 2 is a basis for R2. Therefore, any vector in R2 you can write as linear combination of alpha 1, alpha 2. So, 1, 0 is equal to C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2, and we get this and we get this. Solving, we get C1 is equal to minus 2 and C2 equal to 1. Therefore, 1, 0 you can write like this. So T1 E1 is equal to T1 0 and that's equal to minus 2 T alpha 1 plus 1 T alpha 2. Just apply T here. Okay. Now T alpha 1 is 321 and T alpha 2 is 654. Adding this we get this one. Now what is E2? So for E2, E2 is 0, 1. You can write like this. Again find values of D1 and D2 and we get D1 and D2. Substituting this we get this one. And TE2 equal to 3 by 2 T alpha 1 minus 1 by 2 T alpha 2 and this one, and finally we get this one. Okay, therefore x1 x2 equal to t1 plus x1 e1 plus x1 x2 equal to x1 e1 plus x2 e2 t x1 x2 equal to just apply t of x1 e1 plus x2 e2 and using our note you can write like this x1 t e1 plus x2 t e2 and T1 you know the value and T2 you know the value and just substituting we get this one. Therefore, this is our linear transformation. Okay, hope this is clear.